TNA Final Resolution is over and done with. It's in the books. It was an okay show for the most part. It could have been better. I'm not going to hold you guys up. It honestly felt like all of this stuff could have taken place on television. That's just how this show came off. The crowd wasn't really into most of the matches. The Hardyz got the biggest reaction, obviously, of the night. The Rascals got a pretty decent reaction. The same thing goes for Xia Li. She got a good reaction as well. But I could have done without most of this show, in my opinion. And I feel that TNA needs to do better next year. They need to get rid of Eric Young and other guys who were on this show. They need to move on from these guys. It's time. So we're going to get into Final Resolution from December the 5th, 2025. I didn't watch the pre-show at all. Cedric Alexander, he won his match. He defeated Eric Young. And the System, which is Moose, Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers, and Moose, they defeated the Andersons. So Brock Anderson and Barry Anderson, guys who were in AEW, were in AEW, and WC Anderson. So that's cool there, I guess. Whatever, it's fine, whatever. Moving on to the main card. First match of the night, Mike Santana defeats Charlie Dempsey. The match was pretty okay for the most part. I'm a fan of Dempsey, but I'm not a fan of this invasion storyline that he's a part of. I'm just not. But Dempsey does good work. He's been in NXT for about a good 2 years, I think. Yeah, about a good 2 years now. So, yeah, but this storyline has to end. Santana wins via spin the block. So, there is that. Moving on from that, this leads us into Frankie Kazarian. He has an interview with Gia Miller backstage. Frankie says that he's not giving that he's a giving champion. And he's giving JDC the opportunity to go out as world champion, but JDC won't take that opportunity as he's nothing but a miserable failure. Instead, Frankie Kazarian will celebrate with the only person he cares about, that is himself. Moving on from that, this leads us into the Inspiration. They defeated Tessa Blanchard and Victoria Crawford, a.k.a. Alicia Fox, to retain the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championships. And Ash by Elegance was on commentary in this one, which was great. The Inspiration win via the Idolizer. For whatever reason, the Elegance brand, they got involved, and it seems like they've turned not Dana Brooke. They've turned Ash by Elegance babyface, because she was shocked as to why they were out there. But it is what it is. It's fine, I guess. So whatever. Moving on from that, this leads us into Ariana Grace and Santino Marella. They're having a chat backstage. Santino doesn't like how Stax acts around Ariana. Ariana says that she'd never break the rules, and she always respects the rules of the house. Santino wants to know if she sees and hears anything. Okay, that's fine there, I guess. Moving on from that, Matt Cardona defeats Mance Warner in the street fight. I don't give a damn about this at all. This was lame. This could have taken place on television. TNA has got to move on from Matt Cardona. Enough. We get it. Enough. But whatever. Moving on. So JDC, he's in the mirror. He's muttering to himself. He says, just like Shark Tank Redemption, how does he fit in the inside world? JDC looks up to John Cena. And if he can win a title on his way out, maybe JDC can too. Maybe if he wins tonight, it's It lets him stay that little bit longer. If he does win at Genesis, there's only one man he wants to face. That's his brother, Eddie Edwards. He has the respect, the love for the business that you can't teach. And JDC wants to pass that torch on to Eddie Edwards. Just got to get through tonight. What the hell? What kind of shit is this? Eddie Edwards has been in TNA for 10 years. He's not a star, okay? He's not. Come on, bro. What the hell? What kind of nonsense is this? Oh, my goodness. Moving on. Stacks defeats Steve Maclin to become the new TNA International Champion. Lexis King got involved. So Stacks ended up using the cane, and that's how he wins. So that's fine there. It is what it is. Steve Maclin's contract is up at the end of the month. He probably will resign. I don't see him going to AEW or WWE. I just don't. I think he's just going to be a TNA lifer, and that's just what it is. Moving on. So the Hardys, they're backstage. They aren't happy. Matt Hardy says it doesn't change their game plan, though. They know all the NXT jackals are in the house, and Jeff Hardy says their eyes are going to be wide open. He says they're the GOATs, and they're going to go to the ring and GOAT. Okay, that's fine. Moving on from that, Ying Lee, a.k.a. Xia Li, defeats Xia Brookside to retain the TNA Knockouts World Championship. This match was okay as well. Too much hugging, though. We get that they're best friends and all that jazz. The match picked up towards the middle of it. And then towards the end of the match, Xia Li ended up hitting a nasty spinning heel kick, which that should have been the finish. She ended up picking up Xia Brookside and putting her in the swinging face buster for the 1, 2, 3. This was okay, but again, it didn't reach the second gear for me. I mean, again, they are both baby faces. So post-match, Dani Luna shows up. She attacked both Xia Li and Xia Brookside. Then Indy Hartwell showed up. Dani Luna and Indy Hartwell, they had a brawl, and they were pulled apart by officials. Dani Luna ended up beating up one of the officials, which was funny. And I guess on Thursday on Impact, it's going to be Indy Hartwell versus Dani Luna in a dog collar match, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is, I guess. Again, this is not AEW, so there's not going to be any blood. And why would you even need to have a match like that anyway? But I don't know. I don't really care. Just as long as Dani Luna wins. Because Dani Luna, she kind of deserves to be champion. She kind of needs to be the one to beat Xia Li. That's just me, though. But it is what it is. Moving on. So, the NXT guys, they're backstage, the NXT Outlaws. They say that the NXT Outlaws get the job done by any means necessary. Stack says everyone doubted them. They waited for opportunities, and they're done waiting for scraps. High Ryze is going to take those tag team titles. Whatever. That didn't happen. Moving on. In my opinion, match of the night. 8-man tag. The Rascals. Desmond Xavier, Byron Reed, Trey Miguel, and Zachary Wentz. They defeat Order 4, Jason Hotch, John Schuyler, Mustafa Ali, and Special Agent Zero. Special Agent Zero is a gem. He is tremendous. TNA needs to have him locked in on a 3-year deal. This dude is fucking awesome. He's tremendous. He's 6'5" or 6'6", probably about 260, 275. Dude is jacked to the gills. I'm like, damn. And he was throwing those Rascals around like they were pillows. Like, it was hilarious. This match was super duper fun. So, towards the middle of the match, Mustafa Ali, he walked out. Then Elijah, he showed up. He had a horse with him, and he ended up tying Mustafa Ali up with some rope, and he ended up riding away with Mustafa Ali. Pause. So that was hilarious there. That was cool there. The finish came when all four guys hit a Meteora, Swanton, and Spiral Tap, mixed in with a 450 for the 1-2-3. That was tremendous. I love that. Good stuff there. Makes perfect sense. I think the Rascals, their contracts are up. I think Desmond Xavier, a.k.a. Wesley, he's in a handshake agreement with them. Hopefully, TNA is able to retain all the Rascals because it wouldn't be TNA without them. But this was super duper fun, and I fairly enjoyed this. This really should have been the main event, if we're being honest. I'm not going to hold you guys up. Moving on. The Hardyz, they defeat High Ryze. Okay, that's fine, I guess. Don't really care. Post-match, the lights go out. The Righteous, they show up. Vincent and Dutch. They get no reaction at all, which is hilarious. The crowd chants, "Who are you?" And I loved it. It was hilarious. It's like, bro, Vincent was in TNA 3 years ago when the whole Honor No More storyline was going on at the time. So, but, man, they got no reaction. Like, it wasn't good. But it was funny as fuck, though. That was funny as fuck. I love that. That was hilarious. That really was. That was hilarious. Moving on. So, Eric Young, his sorry ass was on the show again. And he talks about the dawning of a new era with TNA on AMC. He sees the rise and fall and the rise and fall, and he's always been the center of it. He understands this place better than anyone. I mean, more than anyone. And all of this could be ruined. So guess who's going to fix it? It's going to be him. A disease has got to be removed, eliminated, and cleansed from the world. He'll make things right with or without you. I don't care about Eric Young. Get him off of television. Move on from him, please. Either make him a producer or give him his walking papers. Enough. This is the problem with TNA. You got to get rid of Eric Young. You got to get rid of Frankie Kazarian. You got to get rid of Moose and Brian Myers. I'm not saying to fire those guys, but make those guys producers or whatever. You got to move them on from the product. They don't need to be the focal point of your product. Your product needs to be young and vibrant. Damn. Moving on. Leon Slater defeats AJ Francis to retain the TNA X Division Championship. For some odd reason, BDE was out there. He ended up getting chokeslammed. I'm guessing TNA is probably going to end up signing him, maybe. I don't know. Probably so. They should. I think he's young. I think he's like 25, 26 or whatever, something like that or whatever. He's in his early to mid-20s. And he's pretty popular on social media. So, there's that. So, basically, AJ Francis, he ends up grabbing a GoPro to record a viral moment. And it ended up, Leon Slater ended up, doing the viral moment. He ended up drop kicking AJ Francis, ended up hitting a nasty tope suicida. So that was cool. Rich Swann, my bad, not Rich Swann. Well, actually, he did get involved in the finish. AJ Francis ended up going for a moonsault. Leon hit a nasty super kick in midair. And then the finish came when Rich Swann was out there. He had a steel chair and title belt in hand. And he threw the steel chair in the ring. The referee got it. Then Swann ended up using the title shot. No, he gave that title to AJ Francis. Francis ended up hitting Leon Slater. He kicked out. So then AJ Francis called the referee a bitch, which was hilarious. And so Rich Swann ended up hitting AJ Francis with the belt, and this followed up with Leon Slater hitting the Swanton 450 for the 1-2-3. Okay, that's fine there, but this didn't need to happen. This was kind of a nonsensical finish, but whatever. It's not important. Moving on from that, we get some comedy stuff on the show. Ryan Adams came out there. He made fun of Mara Sade and talked about getting millions of views. Mara Sade showed up, ended up super kicking him, and that was it. Main event of the evening, Frankie Kazarian tapped out JDC. JDC didn't tap out. He basically passed out from the crossface chicken wing. Who cares? Post-match, Frankie Kazarian gets out of Dodge. The NXT boys, the NXT crew, they show up and they beat up the system. They dispose of them. The Hardyz and Mike Santana and a couple other guys, they show up, but they get their asses beat up. And then when they're separated, Stax ends up decking Santino Marella, and the crowd chants, "You fucked up," and then that was the show. I don't like this NXT TNA angle. I just don't like it. It's very weak because the NXT guys are nothing but low mid-card guys. But it is what it is. I don't know. This has to end. And hopefully it does end. But overall, Final Resolution was an okay show. It could have been better. But it is what it is. But really and truthfully, this should have taken place on television. That's just what it felt like to me. But what did you guys think of Final Resolution? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.